Hello everybody and welcome. Roger here and welcome to my channel, Roger's Reads. I hope everybody is doing well on this fine day. It's a little dark here, so hopefully the light's not going to be too bad. So today I'm reviewing a book entitled The Dangerous Art of Blending In, written by Angelo Surmelis. Now Mr. Surmelis was raised in Greece until he immigrated to Illinois at the age of 5. Now, he's really an interesting fellow who's an award-winning designer and has been featured on over 50 television shows as well as magazines such as TV Guide, InStyle, and Entertainment Weekly. Now, as for this book, The Dangerous Art of Blending In, I had no idea what it was about going in. It somehow came to my attention and I picked it up. I thought it might be like a light, fluffy little coming out story, but boy, was I wrong. Actually, it's an intense story, not only about a teen coming to terms with his sexuality, but it was also about physical survival, so it was a tough book to read at times. It's a book that will definitely throw your heart into the blender. So the story follows 17-year-old Evan Panos, who's the son of 2 Greek immigrants, and the story basically revolves around Evan's relationship with his mother. There is something seriously wrong with this woman. She's a religious zealot who both verbally and physically abuses Evan. She whispers in his ear things like, "You should just die," or "I should have killed you when you first came out of me." Now, I'm paraphrasing here. I can't remember the exact verbiage, but it was something along those lines. It was pretty horrendous. I could almost feel the hatred that she has for her son. She refuses to allow him to follow his dreams, and in fact, does everything in her power to block him every step of the way. Additionally, his mother is extremely homophobic, and though Evan has never come out to his parents officially, she suspects that he's gay and accuses him of it constantly, all the while spewing homophobic vitriol towards her son. So Evan goes through his days hiding his cuts and bruises from others, always talking about how clumsy he is and how he's always falling off of his bike. So it's no surprise that Evan is scared, exhausted, isolated, and in pain. And his pain and suffering are vividly invoked, so to such an extent that the reader is easily able to recognize the headspace that he's in and know how vulnerable he is. So thus, Evan decides to take the safest path possible, keeping his head down, ignoring his feelings for his crush, and biding his time until he finally can leave home, hence the title, The Dangerous Art of Blending In. But as the story progresses, his mother's abuse escalates and becomes even more terrifying. And as a reader, you can't help but worry about Evan and wonder whether he'll even make it out of his situation alive. As such, many parts of this book were especially difficult to read. I found my heart breaking for Evan as he tried to hang in there and figure out who he was and who he could trust through all of this. So not only was he suffering abuse at home, but he was also grappling with his sexuality and his identity while trying to find his place in the world, a world that was not all that kind to him at the moment. It's not very often that you see stories of abuse at the hands of a mother with a meek father sitting by and doing nothing and making excuses for the abuser's behavior. Usually we see the opposite. We see the drunken, abusive stepfather trope. So it was refreshing to see another take on this, though it was no less horrifying. There were other people in authority positions who could have helped Evan as well, but until the end of the book, chose to ignore what was going on. But though the story is heart-wrenching, it is also beautiful in that Evan does come out shining at the end, thanks to the love and support of a boy he's especially fond of, and whose loyalty and compassion assist Evan in transcending his horrific experiences. So in this way, it's a heartbreaking and heart-mending novel as he finally steps into his own and finds his voice. He comes to realize that no matter how much he might hope that his mother will change, at the end of the day, it's up to him to make the change in his life and escape the madness of his situation. So though the book does end on a positive, hopeful note, it is a book about darker subject matter, so it's probably not recommended for more sensitive readers, as there are excessive physical and verbal child abuse triggers, as well as blatant homophobia. The descriptions of the abuse are somewhat graphic in places, but that being said, the ending was well done and optimistic. So in this way, it's a story that first rips your heart out and then puts it back together. So this book is a painful yet powerful read that will have you angry during some parts and then almost weeping with joy at others. It provided a multifaceted look at some of the more unsettling aspects of human relationships and a realistic portrayal of abuse at the hands of a fanatical parent. Though I found it emotionally draining at times, I was deeply touched by this story. So all in all, The Dangerous Art of Blending In was beautifully crafted and evocative, and though raw in places, it is a book that I'm glad that I had the opportunity to read. So I think I gave this book 4 stars. Definitely a great read. And that is it for The Dangerous Art of Blending In. I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.